they say is the end of the matter than the beginning thereof. Last week, we talked of advocacy in combating sexual abuse and gender-based violence. On this week's episode, we are looking at the concluding part of last week's episode with the hope that victims knows what to do when found in such situation. With Raquel Kasham Daniel, an advocate of gender-based violence and sexual abuse.
We are right now in the studio with Raquel Kasham Daniel, founder Beyond the Classroom Foundation. Today's topic is the role of advocacy in combating sexual abuse and gender-based violence. And I have with me in the studio Raquel Kasham Daniel, founder Beyond the Classroom Foundation. Before we came into the studio, we've been talking. She's been sharing some experiences and some tips about combating sexual abuse and gender-based violence. And you know we have the 16 days advocacy that has been going on, and we feel we should talk about some of the things that have been happening in our society today. We've talked a lot outside, and I feel some of it, we should conclude it in the studio. And as we move on, I would like you to concentrate so that you can help somebody close to you. So Raquel, how does your advocacy work in addressing societal stigmas around sexual abuse?
Thank you again for the opportunity. So, one of the ways our advocacy work is through education, which is the most important, I dare say, because a lot of times people are just aware of the matter, but they're not educated on the matter. So what we try to do is ensure that people are educated on the matter. So they already know, for instance, for the girls, you already know if you are sexually abused, what do you do immediately? And the simple steps is go to a hospital, the nearest hospital, and report that you've been sexually abused, and then they're going to take samples, which is going to be used as evidence. And second thing is not to hide in your house out of shame or tell your mother and just say, no, I don't want to report it. The second thing is to go to a police station, because if you go to a police station first, they will ask you what's the evidence. But if there's evidence in the hospital, at least they can take your statement. So that's the steps that you can take. Another then the next one will not be there's a gender desk at most police stations. I dare say maybe all police stations. Then gender officer will speak to you about the matter and connect you to a non-profit that is connected to that gender desk. Because most gender desks have catalogs or of non-profits that they can reach out to, maybe the nearest to the incident, to say this is what is happening, and then of course they can take it up from there. But do not sit and wait. And then another thing we're doing is ensuring that everyone is educated on the matter. We're not saying protect yourself, we're saying protect the girls. We're saying learn about it to understand that hurting a woman sexually or physically or otherwise is hurting a nation. Because these are women who are giving birth to children. If you go to a hospital, statistics has that 9 out of 10 people in the hospital are women, either caring for the sick or trying to have children or having a surgery. All these major surgeries that women have all year round. So we have more women in the hospital than men. I mean, women are putting their lives at risk every day. So protect the woman. Be educated on women issues, like I mentioned earlier, menstrual hygiene, all issues are girls' rights. And parents should not take whatever is meant for a girl child and give it to their boy. We've seen parents where situations where a parent gets a scholarship for their daughter, and they're pleading with the person to give the scholarship to the boy. And say, women education ends in the kitchen, they get married and all those things. But we're saying, if the girl deserves it, please let her go. Let her go. Because most times now we ask parents, most of them are older. Well, like, so right now, when you want to ask for one, who is the first person you call? Most of them, their daughters, they call. Even if they are married. We say so, but most of you will say, oh, your daughter is not worth one son. Do you understand? Yes. But then what that means is, you're in your old age, you now need someone to care for you, is your daughter.
But you believe me that you don't even have to ask your daughter, she knows when it is right.
Thank you.
But the boy will always tell you that, and he can bring up the issue of his family. And you have to wait, my family needs this, I want to do this for my family. So always think about the girl child in anything that you are doing. Now that brings us to the role of family and community in supporting survivors of sexual abuse. What role are they expected to play when such a thing happens?
So when someone is sexually abused in the community, I think we need to drop the culture of shame. We need to drop it. And we need to embrace the culture of help, of I'm here for you. Especially with families. Families will say, oh, this is a family affair. No, it's a human rights violation affair. it means that somebody has to go to jail for what they've done. So if you cover up a situation that's happened to a girl in your home because you're afraid that, or ashamed that, so they will not say it happens to XYZ family, but you don't buy like the same house, it's not our house, if you know, and all that, because you don't want people to know about it. Then you're doing yourself, your child, a disservice. And I caught sharing about a story about a woman whose daughter was raped in a community in Lagos, and since there was no evidence, and the police dismissed it, and there was nothing to take to court. It was a hearsay, she say, hearsay, he say on situation. The woman took it upon herself to shame the person. Because I said, instead of my daughter to feel ashamed in this community, I will shame the guy because she believed that her daughter. And she started to shame this dude. And she woke up in the morning and she's gonging and she's shaming him. And the same thing happened. Women joined her. The women that in her meeting joined her and said, you know what? If this man is doing this together, let's help her. And they joined her. And what happened? After a while, the guy went to work one day and didn't come back. He left the environment. He left his things in the house. I didn't even show up again. Only a guilty person will do that, you know, because we are saying that if the guy was not guilty, the guy will go and beg him and say, "Madam, I'm not guilty, I didn't do this," you know, and all that. But he never showed, he never apologized, he just kept going on. One day he got tired, or maybe got embarrassed and left. That is what a community can do. I'm not saying go and shame people, but I'm saying stand by the person. Justice. Stand by the person. Sometimes a girl goes to court and she's alone with her mother. The father will say, I don't want to be associated with it. In fact, the fathers are telling the mothers, don't shame us by taking this outside. Police not hear it. I'm walking out. If I will go and drink my beer, all the men are talking about is not that the daughter was raped. That's a culture of shame that we all have to drop. If we drop it, it would help survivors to speak up. Because now what we are doing is that there's a culture of shame, but to the wrong people. To the wrong people. So let the perpetrators be the ones that are shamed. Let the ones be the ones that people will point at and say, you did wrong, you should go to jail. You know, if the culture of shame is used in the right direction, it will help us to curb it. You know, so imagine that somebody rapes a girl or a boy, and the person is stripped half naked and the person is dragged around the town square. I bet you nobody will do that again.
So now, in order to cut this menace, how do we engage both the men and the boys into this fight?
What I say all the time is you can't solve a women issue without men. Of course, you can't solve a men issue without women. Yes, we coexist, and nobody's an island.
And the issue is between a man and a woman.
Or a man and a man, or a woman and a woman, because people can be harassed anyway. So I don't want to go to. I'm just saying that that is a topic for another day. That is a human issue.
Yes.
So it means that both the genders need to understand that first, gender-based violence, like I said, is violence targeted at you because of your gender. And when men understand that, and they understand that it's not only women that are sexually harassed or verbally harassed, men too are harassed, they're able to stand up for anybody that is harassed, regardless of the person's gender, either men or women. And a lot of men have a lot of power they don't know. I know somebody who said to us one day, his neighbor will beat his wife. I said, "How God, man to man, this thing you're doing is wrong." You know, and the man stopped. Why? Because man to man, we are talking, this thing you're doing is wrong. You have to stop it. But you go to hear that, like, this man, nobody else not been beating his wife for many years. What have you done? Nothing. You've not called the police. You've not called any number of it. You've not going to have it. Spoke to man and said, "God, stop it. If you don't come, we will take this wife out of your hand." And you call her family. Yeah, sometimes some men need to hear that. And then another one that irks me is when a woman gets married and her family says to them, no matter what happened, don't come back home. You know, what is wrong? If you've told the husband or that you can do whatever you want, and there's no resistance in his brain that, if I hurt her, she's not going anywhere. It's my property. You know, but let's assume you married a woman and the family say, you dare not. You do anything to our daughter, we take her back from you. Or we will take you and your family to jail. You know, if you man up, understand, people have to comport themselves, you know. And so men have to deal with their issues. A lot of men have deep-rooted anger issues, but they need to deal with. And they're not dealing with it. And so when they have, like now we're currently in an economic crisis in Nigeria, economic crisis, and a lot of men are struggling financially. Yes. And it's telling them that's affecting them. And it's affecting them, and they're told to hurt their wives. Their wives, so their wives, their daughters, is who they're hurting. Because they don't have the financial means. So the woman is earning small money, so you because you're earning money, I'm not earning money, just yes, slap. And the woman, if you know this is your work, you have to even stop it until I get a job, you can't go to work. So what do we feel that? That's what's going on. And then domestic violence, economic violence, everything sets in. And then the man gets drunk and come back and rapes his wife and says, my wife, there's no rape in marriage. I paid her dowry. Yes. And then he doesn't see wife is drunk, he rapes his daughter. Cannot tell the difference because he's drunk. So men have to deal with their deep-rooted issues and realize that they have strength, but their strength can be used in positive ways. Your strength should be used to protect a person. I'm very, very strong. I mean, physically I'm very strong. But if my husband is there, I don't do anything strong. If I don't go open a can, let him do it. Let me open a can. He say, you guys, I say I can't because you are here. Once you are here, is depleted. Yes. I don't have energy again. I can't know their duty. Let him help me. I say, you know, don't waste your strength. You always go on like what I give you to help me. Yes. He not because sometimes he knows even to move a bucket. I'll say I can't do it. Even I can. You know, but I'm just saying that men should use their help us to make us feel like babies. You know, and support us and care for us, not to hurt women. If you really want to fight, the boxing ring is there. You know, go to the gym, go and do the boxing ring. You know, although people should pay. Yeah. Other people watch you, go and sign up as a boxer. Like unleashing this anger. Let's do it man to man. Sign up as a boxer where it is legal, and then go and box. And people will pay to go watch you as a boxer. It's fine, but not a person that is lower in physique and in strength. You know, and all that. And that form of violence that you should know about, which people are not talking about, is motorway violence. Motorway? Yeah, motorway. So, everyone is driving on the road, and then you hear, I not blame you, Waka, because your husband give you motor drive. So, like, woman has no right to be on the road. Or you're trying to reverse, now woman now. I've heard that severally. That's a form of violence. It's a form of, in fact, it was so bad at some point, I had to remove my L sign. Or you hear, Madam, come off the road. But they will not tell you to make that. That's the kind of violence that people are paying attention to. And it has given some people crazy on the road. Definitely. You know? And so what I do is that when I'm driving, I just put my music. So no matter what you say, the music is helping me. So it's about one concentrate. I don't listen to what you're saying. So, but there are a lot of people that the thing it really gets to them because they are verbally abused. They feel like, is it because I'm just, is it because I'm a woman? That the woman just spoke to me like that. Or in fact, madam, get your car from this place. I mean, even security men do that to women park. We don't park where we give you motor drive. All sort of things. All these things are ways that we insult women. We verbally, harass them without knowing. If you are educated and you understand that all forms of violence is violence, yes. No matter how small you see it, it's violence. It can stop somebody. Yes. Because you can drive someone nuts. The person can be thinking about her life. I wonder, am I now a fool? I'm driving into something that she's supposed to drive into. So having said that, are there specific policies or laws in Nigeria you feel need improvement to better protect women? We're talking about women. So we need to know some of our policies that we need can protect us, and how do we harness them? I think like the best place to start is also to highlight the policies that we have that protects people. I think the first is the Child Rights Act that protects every child. Only 34 out of 36 states plus FCT in Nigeria have adopted that act. So it means that if you are not part of the state that have adopted it, your child is not safe. It's not me that says you can Google it. It's there. We are starting to get those states to adopt those things. So it's more of an implementation thing than even an amendment thing for that. And then we have the VAP Act, which is the 2015 VAP Act, where it's Violence Against People Prohibition Act. A lot of people have noticed that the challenge with the VAP Act is that a lot of people with disability were not really captured explicitly on it. So they're saying, can we amend it? To carefully explain, because you see someone that is blind, girls are blind, are raped. Not everywhere, because they can't see, they can't even tell you. They had a case where a girl was raped because she's blind. They were bringing all the men in the hostel, the school of the blind. I won't mention what state. They were bringing the clothes of the men for her to sniff, because what she did was she kept putting her nose to his to sniff, and she will not perceive. So she knew. If they brought so many both in and out of, maybe they brought this one. She said, this is the one. This is one of these clothes. They brought. Anytime they switch the clothes and bring that particular person, she knows that one because she remember the smell, the person's scent, whatever it is. Point is, because she was blind, it is no excuse. She was abused. Those that cannot speak. One man says, oh, she didn't say anything, so I thought she was consent. She was dumb. She couldn't say anything. So she was looking at the man. She was afraid of being hurt. She couldn't even say anything because she was dumb. Yes. So she couldn't talk and say, oh, it was consent. And that guy went scot-free, by the way, that particular story, because then it was a case of maybe she actually consented, but because she has a disability. So we have to clearly define in our laws people with disability, blind, deaf. In fact, the punishment for the people harassed that have disability should be more. If a perpetrator for someone who cannot help themselves, maybe a person with disability, it should be more than anyone. I'm just saying. And then some states in Nigeria, like the Lagos state government, Ekiti state government, they've adopted the domestic violence laws.
Okay.
Where it's straight on domestic violence. I think about 4 states in Nigeria, I can't remember the other 2. So this is a fantastic law for a state to adopt, to say if you harass your wife or you rape your wife, there's rape in marriage. Because some states agree that there's no rape, there's nothing like rape in marriage. If your wife doesn't want to do it, you have to do it by force. And it's acceptable. And some cultures accept it. So because of that, whether you like it or not, you have to do it. So when women are seeing it as rape, women are seeing where she's going through, her state of mind and all of that, you have to do it. Because of that, because you are married. You are married. Because of that, some women are being abused in their marriage. In fact, we had a situation of a man that when I heard that one, I was sweet. He'll drug his wife and bring his friends to rape his wife. And he'll record it. And she'll be drugged and she will not know. And how did you know? Her son saw it. And he was traumatized. The boy was traumatized. Because he was like, what's happening in this room? He saw it and the boy ran away. And he kept running after the boy disappeared. And when they found him, he explained exactly why he ran away. And they tried to curb the issue, but and they found the tapes. It's not a foreign issue, Nigeria. So you can imagine that he feels like it's his property. That's why he kept saying that your wife is his property. He can do whatever he wants to do with her.
So what is your organization doing to break this silence?
I'm here on the show with you. Thank you. And I've been on radio. I realize that media has a huge reach. I lost count of how many radio stations I've been to last week. I've been to so many, several, and a few TV stations. This is the 3rd. But I'm just saying that what we're doing is advocating and begging people that please, we beg you, protect the women, learn about these issues, and help women and keep them safe. Because it hurts women, hurts generations. That's the truth. It hurts women, hurts generations, not just her family. A lot of people, and most women end their lives. They live like a popular musician that just passed. And God knows how long that has been happening before she passed. So many. And not just one person. Out of so many people that have been abused in marriages. So what we're doing is advocating and amplifying the voice of what other people are already doing and begging people to educate themselves. And so also we'll talk about women's and girls' rights a lot. I created a board game that is used to teach girls about their rights. And also boys can learn about it. So you can learn about period from the board game that talks about period. You can learn about girls' rights from the board game that talks about girls' rights. And then we have a book that we're working on for next year. We're distributing 10,000 copies to people. It was funded by an organization. And we're giving free books, around 10,000 copies, about girls' rights and just basic understanding social norms and how to deal with them. And be mindful of them. And how to prevent it from affecting you. And even if you're a parent, you pick up that book, you understand how you can desist from acting like that. And so take, for instance, you go to a home where there is a man and a woman. They are boys and girls, I beg your pardon. And the mother will tell the girl, you clean after your brothers. You know that you are preparing for husband's house. Or you boys can go and play, girl, you clean the house.
Most of us went through that.
Do you understand? And guess what happens? Sometimes you now go to university, low self-esteem. The boy will now say, come and clean my room. And you do it. Then you now go to class because you're washing his boxers. Before you know it, you know that's where it started from. That's where it started from. And then you come into a marriage, the guy will say, no, you have to be the one to wash my clothes, no washing machine. And you just, that's what I've been doing. You don't know that you have been carrying a social norm down with you. So parents need to understand. So the book will help expose us people to these social norms. To say, if you're in this situation, how can you help your own self-esteem? So you can snap out of it and wake up. Because some of the girls don't even realize that that's the reason why they're doing what they're doing. So we do like I know a girl who her father told us that he doesn't want her to go to school because she's going to because she's very assertive. That if this one is educated, she's going to be worse than this now. Because she's assertive. And he just cut her from school. A very curious child and assertive. And her father said she can't go to school. And because of that, she never went to school. And when we met her, I met her like in senior secondary school. She was 14 when we met her, 14, 15. And she was, you need school I've been to primary. And if I said, it's okay, no secondary school for you, because if you will educate you, and you will give us problem. Imagine, instead of a brilliant child encouraging her. So by the time we spoke to the father kept insisting, he said, there's nothing people can tell you. And we told the girl, we told her, you know about Nigerian laws, but when she's 16, or 18, she's free to be on her own. And that way we can enroll her in school. He said, he will follow her and he will go and bring her back. Because he doesn't know the law. So education is very powerful. Educate yourself as a parent, and then if a girl deserves something, please give it to her.
And the final question is to you. As an advocate, how do you ensure your mental and emotional well-being while supporting survivors? Because you are seeing all these things. So how do you manage it?
It can be hard. We always say that you separate yourself from your work, but it's almost impossible. It is. Yeah, it's almost impossible. But just like you tell people, when you get home, your title, or whatever you are, you drop it outside.
Yes.
You walk into your house per se. So if I carry the burden of my work into my house, I will not be of good cheer when I enter the house.
Okay.
And my children might not get the best of me. So I learned something, and something I do mentally, I do it all the time, is when I park, before I come down, sometimes people say, you're in the car for too long. I'm trying to ease out, get out of the whole whatever I've done. I'm saying, I'm a very religious person, so I use it, I'll pray. I'll say, get this thing, let me just put it aside. And then I'll take a breather. Sometimes I'll just take a bottle of water, just feel good. Then I'll come down and I'll enter the house. Just say mentally, anything work, that baggage, everything I've heard, leave it outside. So that I won't be wondering what's going to be thinking about people. Sometimes I snap back into it when I hear news. I remember something, I'm like, oh God, not again. But I consciously try to do that. And it's very difficult to do. And so sometimes I just take a break. So I have what I call the do nothing day.
Okay.
I just do nothing. There's nothing you can do to make me do anything on that day. There's not just watch TV, or have pizza, or play with my children. There's nothing you can do. In fact, you cannot book. If you tell me the president, I say, it's not today, tomorrow. That's how, and because of that, the world has aligned to it. So that people don't invite me on that day for any program. Because they understand that on this particular day, I can't be available. So I carve out those days to be on my own, and I write, because I'm a writer. So I use writing to ease myself. I write a lot, so I just go into writing and I ease. If not, you're going to run bunkers if you're doing this work. Because the things you hear, the things you see, a boy told us one time, I came home, I couldn't stop crying. That's when I realized that I need to handle it. We said, treat girls like your sisters. Please, help us treat them well. And the guy said to me, if I'm going to treat every girl like my sister, then I'll rape them. Because I rape my sister. Yes. Wow. I came home and I couldn't breathe. I'll be having palpitation. I was imagining my boys being raped or raping their sister. My brain would just be on fire. I couldn't, that's how I knew that I have to work on it and disentangle myself from the things I hear and the things I see on the field. So imagine, and it was, he is what against our word. So we couldn't really, because we didn't have evidence to say that he said it. He said, okay, let's report him now. Did he say it? Did his sister say they raped her? No evidence.
What is your final word to survivors and those intending? It starts from somewhere. Somebody could be planning, I must rape this lady. What is your last word to survivors and that person that is intending to go into the act?
My words to survivors is, there is hope for you and you are not alone. You can speak up no matter who has hurt you. If it's in the past, you don't have evidence anymore, you can live again. Don't allow it to make you promiscuous, which is what we are seeing. Don't allow it to harm your future. A lot of people say, I'm not going to get married anymore or in my future because of this. Don't let it do that. You can seek help. If you have mental health issues because of a case like this, you can speak to a professional. We have counselors, therapists, people who can help you come out of it. Even your religious leaders, they can help you with it. And then you can live again. Try and see if it's, but if it's something you can report, and it's happening recently, please report it, and ensure that your family have your back in this matter, because you can't do it alone. There are non-profits all over who are working. If you just take a little Google, non-profit sexual harassment in Abuja, you will find it. Anyway, or your state of origin, where you are, you will find it. And for those who are planning to hurt other people, just imagine someone is planning to hurt you the same way you're planning to hurt somebody else. Would you like that? Think about it from that point of view and say, treat people as you want to be treated. Would you want to be raped? Would you want to be sexually violated? Would you want to be verbally abused? If you don't want to, then of course please don't do that to someone else, because the effect of sexually abusing people or verbal or whatever form of violence goes a long way to hurt the person's future. So please desist from it, and if you want to be educated, a simple Google search will help you by getting educated on how to protect girls around your area and how to speak up boldly for people who are harassed. We hope that you become a he for she and support more girls.
And in case you need somebody to talk to, Beyond the Classroom Foundation is open. You can locate them on your social media handles. They are open to share some of your problems with you, and I bet you will definitely get solution. Thank you, Raquel, for coming on the show. We hope to have you another segment.
I hope so.
Because we know you have a lot to unleash for people to learn from. Thank you once again for coming.
Thank you.
And on this note, we shall be concluding today's episode. Until we come your way again same time next week, don't forget to log on to our YouTube channel, Feminine Affairs with Juliet Dengiwa. Thanks for staying tuned and enjoy the rest of your week.